Alright, shalom again. Start as always by giving all praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai. Double honors to Apostle JMS. Honestly, you brothers doing this work in truth, while sincerity. It was just basically yesterday after camp. One of the captains posed a question to us, basically along the lines of Judges 15 and 17. Joshua 15 and 17, where the scriptures say that Caleb, or rather Othniel, who was Caleb's younger brother, he basically says that his father was Kenaz, right? But we know that Jephthah's father is not Jephthah, that Caleb's father is Jephthah, right? So basically, brother was saying, prove that the scriptures aren't going off. Prove, basically, get around this discrepancy, right? And then, in terms of edification, we just wanted to go into how we basically got to the got to the answer, right? Do you wanna go first, bro?
Can't. So the way that I went through it was, I was not aware personally, because I hadn't gone to that scripture. I hadn't read that scripture. I wasn't aware that Caleb's father was Jephunneh. So the first thing I did was look up his father, because if Othniel was his younger brother, then I wanted to know who the father of Caleb was. So the first thing I did was I did a word search in the Blue Letter Bible, in the My Sword Bible app on the phone for Jephunneh, and what came up was a scripture in Numbers. I can't remember exactly where. I think it was Numbers 13, I believe, or 15, or 20. No, it might be 23. Roundabout. It's in Numbers basically, and the scripture basically was going into Jephunneh and saying that he was a Kenizzite, which basically, what the understanding I got from that was that they were from their sub-tribe would be called Kenizzites, so they'd come from a man called Kenaz, okay, which was I found out later on was a son of Judah, one of the descendants of Judah, and basically in that would then going back to the scripture in Joshua. That gave me the understanding that Othniel being called a son of Kenaz, as in being a son of that tribe, but that sub-tribe, but at the same time, who's also his biological father would have been Jephunneh. So then, yes, the answer to the question was that Caleb and Othniel had the same father, which was Jephunneh.
Gun.
And that's how they were brothers.
Gun. I went about it slightly different way. I had to open that scripture open. I basically looked in the in the Strongs to see who Caleb's father was, and I found out it was Jephthah. And then I basically just did a quick Google search, and I Google searched Jephthah and Kenaz to see what the relation was. And one of the first, as I was typing in Kenaz, it basically said Kenizzite, which basically made me realize that Kenaz and Kenizzite are the same things, basically. So meaning that Caleb and Jephthah are Kenizzites, therefore that Othniel was also a Kenizzite, and Caleb's a Kenizzite, meaning that they had the same forefather, right? So yeah, that's how we got to the answer. Just how we do out doing this video show different ways to get the same answer. When you get a question, and basically how to some ways
study techniques
basically, yeah.
Because you're gonna be listening to the apostles and all that, and they're going to be going into a deep subject, and you got to be able to search out the things that they're telling you, because if you just sit there and listen, you're not going to really take it in. You got to listen, and you got to go into it yourself and study it and go through experience, and go into the words and go into the different etymologies and the breakdowns of different scriptures and the tools. You have all those tools at your disposal. The My Sword app. You got the Blue Letter Bible app. You got the Urim and Thummim as a whole to go into. You got the Strong's Concordance. You got all these different techniques. So it's more of a study technique. That's what I think. I think that's why one of the captains over here in London Central, posed that question to us to get us to thinking, and also for edifying the brotherhood.
And then, man, in truth, reason why I did it the Google is sometimes it's a lot quicker that way. Because you've got loads of if you wanted to look up certain lineages quickly, you could scour the scriptures, but if you basically look on the Google, man, someone's already researched that before, and might have it in a format that tells you exactly what it is, and then you can go into the scriptures, because generally it will say in this scripture it says X, Y, Z, and basically just, you know, you can just find this lineages that way. You know. You got anything else to say, brother?
Nah, that's it, man. You know, hope brothers edified.
Yeah, can't.
You know.
You know, so that was sensational.
Shalom.
Shalom.